Welcome back to today's video. Today we have an election night between Martin O'Malley and Donald Trump. And like I've been saying, if you're early to the video, or if you comment down below Notification Squad, I'll put you in my next election night. So my first election night, I had around one person doing it, and now it's grown into 28 people. So I'm hoping to get more next time. But yeah, this is a lot of people. Thank you guys for this. So yeah, just keep it up in the future, and I'll put you guys in my next video. Just remember, comment Notification Squad. I'll heart your comment, or respond to it if you have a suggestion about it, or about my video. But yeah, pretty much this is all the people who commented Notification Squad on my last video. And yeah, so this is it, and let's get right into this video. Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight we have the incumbent president, Donald J. Trump, running of course with Mike Pence, versus Martin O'Malley, the former governor of Maryland, and his vice presidential nominee, Kamala Harris. Let's go through some polling data. In the president's approval rating, it is disapproved +10 nationally. We do not have a national approval rating for Martin O'Malley, but in his home state of Maryland, he is approved 80% to 17%. The national average has O'Malley ahead by 5, with the third-party candidates taking a significant portion of the vote. However, at the end of the polling, they have brought down to 1 or 2% each. In Nevada, O'Malley is ahead by 7. In Ohio, Trump is ahead by 1. In Iowa, Trump is ahead by 3. In New Hampshire, O'Malley has a double-digit lead of 15. In Pennsylvania, another double-digit lead, a Trump state from 2016, O'Malley +10. In Wisconsin, O'Malley +11, and in Michigan, O'Malley +10. Arizona, Trump +2. North Carolina, Trump +3. Florida, Trump +1, and Georgia, Trump +2. Let me just say that a lot of these states that voted for Donald Trump are slowly trending away from him. We're seeing numbers that Obama had in 2008 and 2012 in states like in the Rust Belt where he won. So these polls may or may not be a good indicator of what might happen tonight, but we can definitely speculate that the Rust Belt will be turning back blue tonight. It is now 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make projections out of 4 new states, 60 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Kentucky, these 8 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry South Carolina's 9 electoral votes. The state of Indiana, his vice presidential candidate's home state, Vice President Pence, will go to Donald Trump, 11 electoral votes. Out of the state of Vermont, 3 electoral votes are projected to go to Martin O'Malley. The state of Georgia is too close to call, 16 electoral votes in total. Donald Trump is behind by 4%. This is a state he carried in 2016. In the state of Virginia, it is too close to call, 13 electoral votes in total. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 28 for the President of the United States and 3 for Martin O'Malley. It is now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make a projection out of the state of West Virginia, while 2 other states are too close to call, totaling up to 37 electoral votes. Out of the state of West Virginia, 5 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will carry the state overwhelmingly. This is the state that voted for him the most out of any other state in 2016. Out of the state of Ohio, 18 electoral votes projected to go. Actually, is too close to call. This is a Trump state from 2016. He won by 9 points. Out of the state of North Carolina, it is too close to call, 15 electoral votes in total. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 33 for President Trump and 3 for Martin O'Malley. It is now 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a huge new batch of poll closings, totaling up to 169 electoral votes. Out of the state of Oklahoma, it's 7 electoral votes will go to the President of the United States. The President will also carry the state of Missouri's 10 electoral votes. State of Tennessee, 11 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Alabama, 9 electoral votes. No surprise here, out of the state of Mississippi, 6 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Martin O'Malley will take the state of Illinois, 20 electoral votes. Out of his home state of Maryland, Martin O'Malley with 76% of the vote, 10 electoral votes projected to go to him. Martin O'Malley will also take the state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes, and the state of New Jersey, 14 electoral votes. The state of Massachusetts will go to O'Malley, 11 electoral votes. 7 electoral votes out of the state of Connecticut will go to Martin O'Malley. State of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes projected to go to Martin O'Malley. State of Maine, all 4 of its electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. This is a flip from 2016 in the 2nd Congressional District in Maine. Out of the District of Columbia, its 3 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. In New Hampshire, its 4 electoral votes, a much earlier call, will go to Martin O'Malley. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes projected to go to Martin O'Malley. This is a flip from 2016 in the Trump column. And the state of Florida is too close to call, 29 electoral votes in total. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 113 for Martin O'Malley and 76 for the President of the United States. It is now 8:30 p.m. and President Bill Clinton's home state of Arkansas's polls have closed, and the state of Arkansas we can now project will go to Donald Trump, 59% to 41%. It is now 9 o'clock p.m. and we have another huge batch of poll closings, totaling up to 156 electoral votes. Out of the state of Texas, its 38 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry Louisiana's 8 electoral votes. Kansas, 6 electoral votes. We're hitting the red wall here. Donald Trump will take it. Nebraska, 5 electoral votes. All 5 of its electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. The state of South Dakota, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of North Dakota, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump, a much slimmer margin than in 2016. And in the state of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. Martin O'Malley will carry the crucial state of New Mexico. He will need the state 5 electoral votes. Out of the state of New York, 29 electoral votes projected to go to Martin O'Malley. Martin O'Malley will also carry the state of Minnesota, a state Clinton barely edged out in 2016, 10 electoral votes. And another state with 10 electoral votes, the state of Wisconsin, a very early call, very, very surprising. Martin O'Malley will flip Wisconsin from Donald Trump's column from 2016. This was a state that voted for him by 22,000 votes. The margins are phenomenal for the Democrats. If this isn't worrying Republicans around the country, it really should be. The white working class has lashed back. And another call we're getting out of the state of Michigan, another flip from the Trump column in 2016 by huge margins, 17%, 16 electoral votes in total. And out of the state of Colorado, 9 electoral votes, another extremely early call. This is very good news for Martin O'Malley's campaign. However, in Arizona, it is too close to call. Donald Trump is behind by 2%, and the electoral map is on your screen now. Martin O'Malley now taking the lead for the first time tonight. Out of the calls in the Rust Belt, 182 for Martin O'Malley to 148 for Donald Trump. Let me just talk about the Rust Belt real quick. These Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania were all states Trump won in 2016, surprisingly. These were states that were white working class voters, and Martin O'Malley really reached out to them. He was unknown in the Democratic primaries. He won through an open convention, and he pretty much split the party vote. But even though he did that, the white working class landed him a victory in these states, and we're going to see how he does throughout the night. Donald Trump's path to 270 is almost foreclosed. He will now need to win 4 out of the 5 remaining swing states in order to win the presidency of the United States, and even then it's not looking too nice for him. It is now 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make projections in 2 new states, 4 states closing, 21 electoral votes in total. Out of the state of Montana, its 3 electoral votes will go to the President of the United States. The President will also carry the state of Utah 6 electoral votes. The state of Iowa is too close to call, a Donald Trump state from 2016. Martin O'Malley is currently behind him by 4%. And in the state of Nevada, a huge Latino population here, 6 electoral votes, is now too close to call. The electoral map is on your screen now, 182 for Martin O'Malley and 157 for the President of the United States. It is now 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make projections in 5 new states, totaling up to 82 electoral votes. The biggest prize in the Union, the state of California, 55 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. Martin O'Malley will also carry the state of Washington's 12 electoral votes. The state of Oregon's 7 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. The state of Hawaii's 4 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. And out of the state of Idaho, 4 electoral votes projected to go to Donald Trump. The electoral map is on your screen now, 260 for Martin O'Malley, 161 for the President of the United States. Martin O'Malley is now 10 electoral votes away from the presidency of the United States. Like I said before, Donald Trump will need to hold on to the remaining swing states and win Alaska in order to get re-elected. He can afford to lose Nevada, he can afford to lose Iowa, but he'll need to pick up Nevada Every single state you see that is leaning red needs to stay in his column or he loses this election. It is now 11:30 p.m. and we can now make two major projections. Out of the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump will carry its 15 electoral votes, 51% to 49%. Out of the state of Nevada, 6 electoral votes projected to go to Martin O'Malley. Remember, the early vote was over 50% here, 53% to 46%. It is now 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make a projection out of the state of Alaska. The state of Alaska's 3 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. It is now 2:01 a.m. Eastern Time, and we can now make 3 major projections. Out of the state of Florida, its 29 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump, 99% reporting. He is the apparent winner. Out of the state of Ohio, its 18 electoral votes, a huge flip from 2016. Martin O'Malley will carry Ohio's 18 electoral votes. And out of the state of Virginia, 13 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. And Martin O'Malley has been elected President of the United States. Out of those calls in the states of Ohio and Virginia, those put him over 270 electoral votes. Martin O'Malley will be elected the 46th President of the United States and win the popular vote by our projections, 53% to 47%. And we can now make this projection with 90% of precincts reporting across the country. Martin O'Malley will be the next President of the United States. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 297 from Martin O'Malley to 208 for the President of the United States. The only states yet to be called are the states of Iowa, Georgia, and Arizona. It is now 3:30 a.m. and we can now make 3 state calls. Out of the state of Georgia, its 16 electoral votes will go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Arizona's 11 electoral votes. And the state of Iowa's 6 electoral votes will go to Martin O'Malley. This is another huge flip from 2016. The state of Iowa voted for Trump more than the state of Texas did in 2016, and they will now go to Martin O'Malley. And the electoral map is on your screen now, 235 for the President of the United States, and 303 for the President-elect of the United States, Martin O'Malley. Thank you all for 400 subscribers, on to 410. And by the way, if you're early to my video and get the notification, comment Notification Squad and I'll put you in my next election night. My Patreon link is patreon.com/LTE, standing for, of course, Let's Talk Elections. And comment suggestions for my new videos. Upcoming is, sorry about that error, it's not Martin O'Malley versus Donald Trump election night, that one is tonight. Upcoming next is Steve Bullock versus Donald Trump predictions, and I'm starting to get more ideas from you guys. So comment suggestions down below, and I'll do them on my next few videos. Thank you.